Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to master backlight using just your smartphone. With a few tricks like adjusting the exposure and positioning your subject right, you will start getting pro level shots instantly. So let's dive in. Lighting can make or break any photo. Shooting against the light directly into it can create some of the most amazing cinematic photos. I have done a video around backlighting which you can also check out here. However, today I wanted to focus on how you can take stunning backlit photos just using your smartphone. Understanding how backlighting works is very similar on any camera. In fact, if you can understand how light works on any kind of a camera, you can even use those techniques on your smartphone. Try to study light, and irrespective of the camera which you're using, you can still go ahead and create some stunning photos. Backlighting is when your subject is completely between the camera and the light source behind. In this case, it's the sun. So creatively positioning your subject between the camera and the sun will give some very stunning and cinematic looks. I'm going to show you various examples of how to use backlight both in the golden hour scenarios as well as harsh midday light. So currently I am during the golden hour, and let's first start with how you can manage the backlight during the golden hour. First example which I am going to show you is during the golden hour, and I will show you how you can manage that beautiful rim kind of a lighting effect. So I have my brother posing as a model for me, and as you can see, the sun is setting and it's kind of quite low on the horizon now. Now, in order to get that beautiful rim light effect, I will try to position the sun directly behind him using the phone. One of the methods which you can use is always try to use a portrait mode if you're shooting a portrait. Okay, so let me try to position the sun now. Okay, so I'm trying to see which is the light and the position which will give me the best result. So I'm getting some flare right now. So I have switched to portrait mode now, and I'm getting a beautiful blurred background, and as I move my camera position, you can see that the flare is also changing, though it's not very noticeable because the sun is quite low on the horizon. Probably this is something I like, this position where I'm still getting beautiful kind of a lighting behind the head. And let me just try to focus on him. So if I focus and I'll take a snap. So here's another example in portrait mode. And yeah, that was a kind of a beautiful shot there. wanted to deal with a couple of challenges which you will usually come across when you have the sun or a very harsh kind of a backlight against your subject. So one of the main challenges is that you will get a lot of light streaks, or your subject could get overexposed. If you get overexposed areas when shooting against the light, try to vary the exposure manually. Here in the iPhone, I can hold the AE/AF lock and then I move the exposure slider, which will increase and decrease the exposure. This is a good way to avoid overexposed areas. Similarly, work with exposure compensation to the areas which you want to expose your image for. Like in this example of leaf, I was varying the exposure around this area. Another way to prevent overexposed areas like the direct golden light here was I moved around till this fence was blocking the light and the image didn't have that washed out look. So in this example, though it's still, because the sun is quite low, I'm not getting that lot of washed out effect. But imagine if I place my subject, the leaves in this case, directly behind the sun. I place these leaves in between me and the sun, I could get some kind of an overexposed images. Now, one of the things which you can do is like you have to position your subject in a way that it kind of partially blocks the backlight, the sun in this example. So maybe just trying to experiment a bit, I'm going to block the sun, say partially with the leaf, which will give that nice effect as well. So currently I'm in a very harsh lighting condition during the noon time, and the light is very strong, the sun is very strong today. So it is definitely going to be more difficult to manage the light when compared to the golden hour. So I will also show you how you can still apply those techniques from the golden hour and still manage to get good light and also manage the backlighting and create some stunning photos during even these harsh conditions. Now, the first technique which we are going to implement is I'm going to click this flower here, and it is completely in a very harsh sunlight now. So we'll see how changing the position of your camera can still manage the exposure. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to partially shade these leaves. It's already kind of partially shaded now, this flower. And it's not giving me very bright light because of there are a lot of leaves above this flower, which is already shading this flower. So still I'm getting some bright lights on some of these leaves here. Let me just try a photo in this position. And we will try to change the angle of the camera, and we'll see if it kind of changes. So if you see, as I change the position of my camera, there are some shadows falling on other petals, which probably will give a more creative look. So just by trying to change the position, we can manage to still shield the light, and I still want to go with that back lighting effect. So let me try a photo in this position. I just tilted the flower so that I can have it facing towards the other side. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so the next thing which I wanted to try was use this humble sunglasses to see and eliminate the challenge when you get those very sharp and harsh light streaks. So usually when you're traveling, I'm sure you will be carrying a pair of sunglasses, so use it to your advantage and we'll see if this really works. So this is something which I'm going to try out for the first time. First let's find a spot where I'm getting directly direct kind of a backlight and shooting directly against the sun. So probably I think, yeah, this is a good example. So if you can see, the sun is directly overhead, and then if I move my camera I can get those very kind of harsh light, which is something I really don't want. So probably I'll use my sunglasses now and we'll see if it really works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shield my camera lens and we'll see if it works in kind of eliminating some of that light. So this is now with the sunglasses, and yeah, it kind of works. So in the same position where I'm getting that, so it did manage to eliminate some of those light streaks. And maybe I'll just remove, yeah, if you can see, so it did manage to change some of the exposure as well, and it manages the light. So let me just try to take a photo. Probably taking a photo at the same time might be slightly difficult, but we'll try to take a photo. So though this photo is kind of very ordinary, still I feel it is something which you can always give it a try, and just using these humble sunglasses could really have a great effect on your photo, especially if you're shooting directly against the sunlight. I tried the sunglasses trick with different scene as well. Notice how the light streak seems to be less visible with this. The sunglasses somehow acts like a ND filter. You can also make use of backlit photos in creative silhouettes. I will do a detailed video some other time, but just remember to create an amazing dark outline of your subject, expose for your background, and keep your subject underexposed, using the same techniques which we discussed earlier. And that's about it for today's video. I hope you found these tips to be useful, especially when you're planning to shoot something against the backlight. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in another video. Till then, bye and happy clicking.